long time form, but now I need to check that my sound's working, do all the right things. But today, let me know if you can hear me, by the way. But today we're going to be looking through LinkedIn. Here you go. Obediah Ayton is now live. Let's see what my volume's like. All right, we're good. We are good. Right, we are live. Right, we're ready to go. So, hi everyone. I haven't been on for a while, and good to see you all. Today I wanted to show everybody how I use LinkedIn as a tool and how I look, how I search for a certain investor community here in the UAE. I get questions daily about how do you find family businesses. I'm going to show you. But thanks everyone coming in. Right, we've got Jeff Thompson, we've got Adith coming in. Guys, tell me where you're coming in from, what country. Tell us what you're doing, introduce yourself, introduce your business. I think people who've come on before when I've done a live stream, you know what to do. Introduce yourself, feel free to self-promote, promote your business. The platform is yours to use. Now, let me start. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. So if I share my screen now, right. So let's start. So I think before I told you about, let's type in Al Holding, right? And let's see what comes up. Good internet connection. Wow. I think we're struggling here with a solid internet connection. Very slow. Hello from Qatar. Wow, we're getting everybody. Hello from Paris. Rwanda. My God. Carl, good to see you. Mohammed, everybody. Apologies. I'm just trying to get things moving here. Right. So I think it's better. So if we look at people, and then we're starting to now see, certain names. Look for the Al surnames. So I think we're going to start with Al Holdings. So we've got Al Hell Holdings here, Al Jude Investment Holding, Al Quadra, Al Core, Al Hashimi. So guys, if you literally type in Al Holding, you're going to find a ton. Now, if we look at United Arab Emirates and start to draw this down, we're going to start to find more and more. Right, so we've got Al In Holding. We've got Al Ghurair Real Estate, Al Burj Holding. The list goes on. So let me kind of walk you through, I think, the best way to digest. And I think a lot of us, I'm sure, listening, are trying to raise money, try and do business with some of these conglomerates. You might want a B2B partnership. You might want to sell them a software. You may want to sell them a products and services. So let me digest one. Let me pick. Let's pick a big one. Let's go Alpha Team. Or let's do Majid Alpha Team. It's a bit easier. Food Team. Okay, Randy. Now's not the time. So if we do Majid Alpha Team, right, so we've got the company page popping up now. 20,000 employees. So this is going to be hard to digest. And we're specifically going to look for the investment groups. So if we type in investment, internet speed's picking up, which is good. Right, so we've got Director of Investment Strategy for Tame Properties. So for all of you in real estate properties, you want to do a JV, it seems like Enrique is the type of guy. Now, this is interesting. If you look here, right, so this is Majid Al Futtaim. This is the holding company. If you look here, we have Majid Al Futtaim Trust. Now, this is the family office. Now, trust means it's a segregated account. It's not underneath the holding, which is the main group. So if we do, so Majid Al Futtaim, Futtaim Holding. So for all of you, get your pens and papers out. This is going to be a good one for all of you wanting to do business here. This is your freebie. I'm going to give up an hour, 2 hours of my time now to pretty much show you everything that you need to see to get into this market. So you have Majid Al Futtaim's Holding. Now, if we look at the trust, so Vincent Leroy, let's go to Vincent Leroy. So this trust is the family office. The other one is the holding. There's a complete difference. A trust is a segregated liquid account. So if I'm the holding, I'm taking my profits, I'm giving them to the trust to manage. They're going to look at completely alternative industries away from the day-to-day family business. So if we look at Vincent, clever guy, Société Générale, BNP Paribas. You know, I would say if we were to digest this gentleman, where's he from? Anyone know these schools? Dublin. Wow, he's Irish. So there you go. Number one, he's Irish. For all of you out there, you have a common interest in if you're from Ireland. So when you're looking at these guys, have a look at, if you go deeper down the page, have a look where they went to school. See if you did the same masters. He did it in financial markets and investments. Then he went straight into the corporate world. We can look at more experiences. Hang on. So he was, blimey, worked in Virginia, France. Or maybe he is French. Anyway, we either know he's French or Irish, but he's a corporate guy. So he's worked in banks and now he's gone to a trust. He's only been there 8 months. So if we digest this human being, this guy doesn't have a lot of experience there yet. He probably doesn't have a lot of authority. He's an investment analyst, but he's going to give you your time of day. So if you were to go after the investment analyst, realistically, he's more likely to respond. But in terms of authority, it's going to be quite low because he's only just finding his feet. He's also a banker. So he's going to speak a certain language. He's not really a salesy guy. He's not an entrepreneur. I'm not dissing Vincent, by the way. If Vincent's listening, I'm just picking you out of random. You may be an entrepreneur, but from your profile, we're just trying to digest this. So all I'm saying is, I think I put a post up the other day was, if a banker talks to a banker, they're going to get on very well. But if a entrepreneur tries to talk to this guy, it's probably going to be quite hard. So maybe there's somebody else in the group that you can talk to. So I want you to think how important, not just going after some of these family groups, but actually really looking at the individual, manager of finance and strategy. Maybe one of you is an accountant. Here's another analyst at the Futtaim Trust, head of asset management for the holding company. So now if we look, let's go back to Majid Al Futtaim, the actual holding company. Right, so if I want to raise money from Majid Al Futtaim, all right, let's start digging in, getting into this now. All right, accept all cookies, whatever. Actually, are you still looking at my, oh, you're still looking at my LinkedIn screen. Hang on, I've got to figure out a way how to share another screen. I'll do that in a minute. But if let's use this. Let's go about rather than going on their company page. So we see here that they are in the retail industry, shopping malls. They're in hospitality. Some of the biggest malls across the region. They own cinemas, so they're into entertainment. Wow, they're into retail, so they own All Saints, Lululemon. So for any of you up and coming fashion brands, any software solutions, B2C, B2B, they're obviously going to be doing payments. You may want to check and also, guys, if you look here, look, I'm already getting suggestions. So the brother, another member of the family, you've got Al Futtaim here. So let's jump across. So you have Majid Al Futtaim, now Al Futtaim. Ginormous amount of employees. So what do we do straight away? We go on to people. We wait for it to load. Right. Then you go to, actually, no, let's do this. I think we go to employees. That's the fastest way. So we need this search bar up here. So locations, obviously, it's a Dubai-based company, and we type in investments. We want to nail down the guys who are there you go, head of alternative investments, private equity. Right, that was his past, but now he's head of the Alpha Tame Private Family Office. Let's see if I can connect with him. There we go. All right, I didn't even know that actually Alpha Tame actually had a private family office. I thought they were just a holding company. This guy, Treasury, seems like he's under the Treasury investments of the family office as well. Let's connect with him, right? But I shouldn't have done that. Now, why shouldn't I have done that? Because I don't know these people. So let's look to see if that was actually a good ad. I may be completely wrong. Head of alternative investments in Paris. Geography, strategy. Okay, he's been in buyout, private debt, infrastructure. So he's not really my type of guy because I haven't done much in real estate or infrastructure. Portfolio manager. He's worked at some big groups in France. Have you noticed as well, the Fatames, they employ a lot of people from France. So again, all of you looking for jobs from France, it seems like they like people from Europe. But he's building up a portfolio of private equity, private debt, real estate, infrastructure funds. So he's a fund of funds investor. Private equity, private debt, real estate, and infrastructure funds in North America and Europe. So for all of you listening who are fund managers in those territories, check this guy out. Personally, it was a bit of a silly ad for me. Can I retract it? All right, withdraw. Because I'm not operational in those personally. I'm not in real estate or infrastructure, private equity or private credit. I'm not managing hundreds of millions of private equity funds. So yeah, you're getting the gist. And again, look, we got more here. Who's L'Oreal? Never heard of. Actually, no, these are a big retail conglomerate as well. I think they're Indian. Look at it. Okay, so she worked at Greenstone, which is a capital raising firm. She was a CIO of a family office. Went to Northwestern. Okay, I went to university not far from there. There's not much information displayed on her page. I'll connect with her. And then once I receive a connection, then I'll get to know L'Oreal, is it? She looks French as well. So we've been through the Fatames. Let's type in now. There's another big family in Dubai called the Al Mullah, right? And if you look at Al Mullah, you have the Al Mullah group here, which I think is the Kuwait one. So this is where the surnames in the region are quite tricky because there's lots of different ones. So you have Al Mullah group. Here's another one, a retail version, 11 employees. Let's type in. Now I know I'm going to give you a freebie here. I know a family office, Al Mullah Capital, I think it is. Al Mullah Capital. Hang on, as one. Here you go. Look, Al Mullah Capital. This is a family office of one of them. Now I don't know which member of the Mullah family. Check out their website. See if what it's showing across asset classes. Based in downtown Dubai. Now, sometimes you may not get that much information from these pages. I think that you may not get much information from some of these pages, so you're going to have to try and dig a bit deeper. But this is a small family office. They've got 15 employees. George, I know him. He's from Brazil. There you go. CEO of a single family office, investing across multiple asset classes with 20 years of experience. Clever guy. Clever guy. Before worked at Bridge Capital in Dubai, Mizuho, which is I think a Japanese JV in the food and agri business. So again, when you're looking through some of these guys, when they're a CEO of a family office, 9 times out of 10, they've got an incredible track record in the region because nobody gets employed as a CEO or a chief investment officer in the region without actually being here for a while. It takes time to build credibility before a family's going to say, okay, come and run my money. So look at what else. Like he's worked at Bridge Capital. They're a looks like they're a technology fund that focus on healthcare and education. ESG, brilliant. Mizuho, I've already told you they're a JV in Japan and the UAE focused on investment in food and agribusiness. Ashmore, healthcare fund, right? It keeps going on and on. So really, really, when you're digging in, you can go so deep. So you start with the family office name, then you go to the gentleman in charge, and then you look at his track record. So that's Al Muller Capital. So as I said, Al something. So if you find a surname of a Emirati family, think of the words capital, group, investments, enterprise is another one I've seen. Look, Al Otaiba Enterprises. There you go. Al Otaiba Enterprises in Abu Dhabi. So that's what I'm saying. It's Alexander. No, not yet. Now we're getting into Abu Dhabi. So a couple of those with Dubai. So Al Otaiba Enterprises. Let's have a look what these guys do. His Excellency Otaiba Saeed Al Otaiba. 150 years. Real estate projects. Facility management. No, Becky. Hotels. Okay, it looks like they're in hospitality, but I know they're in a lot of servicing industries. Laundry, cleaning, construction, advertisement. There you go. Al Otaiba, but enterprise. 22 employees. I think their CEO is an Indian gentleman. Where are we looking? There you go. This gentleman here. Now, these are very discreet. I'd like to say, yeah, see, look, he won't even accept a connection unless you know his email. Very discreet group. Consultancy and advisory. Been with the Otaiba Group for 7 years, loyalty. Chartered accountant. Went to school in the UK. ACCA, clever guy. But there's not much on his profile. So this is the problem you have with some of these family offices. You may not be able to get in. So we've got to look. How do we get in? Projects director, right? Projects director. How can we get in with this guy? So this family office is very discreet. How are we going to break in? So this guy, okay, he's in real estate, transportation. Now, if we looked at the Otaiba Group, right? Let me click off sharing screen for a bit. So if we looked at the Otaiba Group and used that as an example, it's going to be a tough one to crack, and unless you know them. Like we can't really get in from LinkedIn. So how do we get in? Now, if we go on the website or we look at the Otaiba name, we find industries that they operate in. Maybe we can go to this project manager, Omar, and say, we're looking to work with you on this specific project. We need a local partner. You're trying to find a way to get your foot in the door to say, we have a business that works in Europe. We want to bring it to the UAE, and we've chosen you as our partner. Foot's in the door. Omar's like, brilliant. I'm going to look good to my boss because I'm bringing a foreign company to my chairman and saying, I brought this company. He's not going to say that they've just knocked on my door. He's going to go to his chairman and say, I've brought this amazing company and they want to work with us. And we can sell them all around the UAE. So what you have to do is, if the doors are tough to break down, find somebody you can get on with. You've gone in there with this kind of really nice approach to say, I've done my research on you. I found a common interest. Let's just get in the door and then we'll develop the relationship. Of course, you being a little bit selfish, you want to get to the top of the food chain because you want something. Right? You're not knocking at the door because you don't want something. Yes, you want something. So I think the key to looking at all these different family groups in the region is, how do you get your foot in the door? Everyone always says that. Obi, how do you get your foot in the door? You really have to just hustle to get in there. Once you're in, it makes it a little bit easier. You can force and work with that lower level person. Like going back to the Majid Name Trust, how do I work with that investment analyst to get to the decision makers? Well, we've got to work together as a team because if I'm working at one of these family offices and you're some smart guy, you're smarter than me, right? Let's say we've got Lilith, who's just come in. Who else have we got in the chat? Other people. We've got Ketan, we've got Anastasia, we've got Peter. If you're coming to me and telling me you're the expert, I'm not the expert. So I already look stupid. Now, how do we become experts together to then work as a team to present it to my boss? Now, if you're an investment manager and you want to go after one of the big guys like Mubadala, again, how do you work together with that person you've got your foot in with the door to then go and present it to his investment committee? Because he wants to look good to say, I found a great opportunity that's going to make us loads of money, and this team is all-star, and you're never going to find this opportunity again. How do you work together as a team? So I think creating that initial relationship on LinkedIn is so important to find the right person, right? Hi all. Right, guys, if you're coming in now to the chat, sell yourself as much as possible. If you're looking for a job, tell everybody what you're looking for. If you're looking for investment, tell us how amazing your company is. If you are a business just looking to break into the UAE market, let us know what you need. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody watching here who's going to help you out. Hi, Obadiah. Following your posts from the past few months, your posts are very informative. Thank you very much, Mr. Maninder Vij from India, I believe. We've got Rakhi, co-founder of Travotel, like what you've done with the name, travotel.com. Who else have we got? I'm just going back. Sorry, guys, just going through some of the comments. People saying thanks for doing this. Jeff Thompson, thanks for doing this. Hello from Qatar from Mohammed. Anyway, let's crack on. But guys, if you're coming in, ask me some questions in the chat. Ask one another what's going on. Tell everybody what you're doing. Promote yourself. Now's your chance. I've joined late. Yeah, guys, I'm cracking on. I'm going to be on here for quite a while. You haven't missed anything. If you want to go back, you can go back on my YouTube channel and look through the whole stream. Now, I'm going to crack on. So sharing screen again. Good for you, Leon, but not just yet. We'll come back to that. So we've covered the Al Tabor Enterprise. You know, there's no company logo. We found it quite hard to deal with the investment team. So we found a projects director maybe we can find a common interest with. Now, let's do... Now, this is a tough one. Masoud. That's it. So if we look at these guys, now they're ginormous in Abu Dhabi. Ginormous. Now, if we're talking about a lot of money, these guys have got a lot of money. How do we get in there? Right, I've got 5 connections in there. Not a lot, considering there's 1,500 employees. Now, straight away, we've got a BD manager. If we want to do business with Masood, we go to Abdullah. Right, what do they do, Masood? Group of companies. It's not really... I need to... No, Stephen, not now. I need to share... How do I get to share this screen? Anyway, you guys can look on. I know what they do, right? Click on the website, Amasud. You'll see that they're big in automotive, construction, real estate, and other types of industries. Now, if we click back on, if we want to do business with Masood, we're looking for BD managers, guys like Abdullah. Real estate asset management, we're looking for Karim. He's a British guy. I know him well. Business analyst at automotive. Maybe you have a software you want to sell to these guys. All sorts, right? But we want the investment guys. We want the guys who invest in the alternative industries. Do they have them? I don't know. I don't think so. from what I know, I believe that these guys have their money in a different name. Their family office comes under a different name. So you may find dead ends like this, guys. You're looking for the investment manager, but there isn't one in the family holding. You got a BD guy. Now, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be close to getting your answer. He's worked in banking, intern at Mubadala Petroleum, Emirati surname. Find a common interest again. But I don't think these guys have a direct investment team at the holding level. I think their money is managed elsewhere at a different name. Now, I'll show you an example of that. If we look at Gargash, oh God, terrible spelling, Gargash. Right, have a look at this. Proud past, bright future. Investments, real estate, automotive. So investments is obviously very broad. They're leaving the door open, but they're big in automotive and real estate, like most. That's how they generate a lot of their money. Now, if we look at the employees, again, we're looking at investments. Now, I knew they don't have this. Yeah, see, look, nothing. We got nothing. Now, this has just popped up, and this is what I was going to show you. Their family office, Ravi, no. Their family office is under a different name. So look out for key things like that. You guys would have probably not seen that unless I showed you. Demand Investments. Demand Investments. Here we go. Now we're talking, right? So we have got the family office of Gargash, but it's not called Gargash. It's called Demand Investments. Now, it's a lot of employees. Jesus. So here we go. Now, portfolio manager, investment strategist, senior analyst, investments. Now, this is where we're finding the guys who are managing money, right? So let's look at Mir. Let's pick on Mir. Senior analyst again. Previously worked at, great group. That's another one you guys should look at. We'll go on to Abu Dhabi Capital Group in a minute. Now, they are quite special. And again, not a lot of people know that, but great CV already. Abu Dhabi Capital Group, Emirates MBD, clever boy. So again, he's worked in fixed income. Any of you guys out there in the private credit market, God forbid you're promoting a bond at the moment. University of Nottingham, well educated in the UK. And then he's worked as an associate in investments. Now, Abu Dhabi Capital is a big PE group. So he's done fixed income, PE, and realistically, this could be a blend of venture and, I don't know, maybe public market investing. So Mir. So he's senior analyst. Now let's look. There should be a certain gentleman, which I'll go back and I'll find. Here's what I believe. There he is, head of investments. Lovely guy. If I email him, he always responds. Have we ever done anything together? No, we haven't. But he'll always be an honest guy. He either likes it or he doesn't. Now, what a CV. Worked at pretty much everything in the region. Been now with Demand for 4 years. There you go. You can find out what he's doing. Responsible of venture capital, funds, and direct investments. Right. Sorry, Mayor. I believe you're probably going to get spammed by everyone. Let me just get rid of D Smith. So let's clock off a bit. So let me know, is this useful? Is it coming across quite clear or is it a bit scattered? I'm trying to just show you, not just give you the answers, but show you a little bit how you can kind of work through LinkedIn to find your answers as best as possible. Let me know if it is useful, because this means that it's the first time I'm doing this. I've done live streams before, but normally I chat about whatever I want to chat about, but I'm trying to. Hello, Obadiah. You're doing a great job educating the founders on investments, and I follow your content regularly. Thank you very much for that. Okay, useful. Very useful. Right. Thank you very much. I'm glad. Okay. Yes, it's useful. So I will probably keep going then if it's useful. And at least as long as I'm making sense coming through. Let's read some of the comments. Great tips from Obadiah Ayton from Charmaine Lim, head of VP clients service at Huobi, which I believe is a crypto exchange. The amount of knowledge and experience you're sharing is phenomenal. Thank you for your effort. Thank you very much. Tim Pep. I do apologize if I'm pronouncing his name. Tim Hot Pepiat. Hi all. I'm the founder of a PropCure, that fractionalized property ownership portal, looking for investors. Good for you, Tim. Guys, learn from Tim. He just self-right promoted his business, and you're allowed to do that on here. If you're looking for a job, don't be ashamed. The UAE is the land of opportunity. I call it the new American dream. We've got Khalid, hi Obi, Khalid here, looking for corporate employment opportunities in the GCC within the investment industry. 10 years of transactions, advisory, PE, VC experience, ex EY and Grant Thornton. There we go. That's what this is for. Right, back onto family office hunting. Right, we've done demand investments. So we found out this is the family office of Gobash. Now, what's the other one called? No, this is Gargash. There's another one called Gobash, which has a different name. Again, Gobash Group. Here we go. So Gobash Group. Now, I think they're quite big in the energy business. In the late 70s, Gobash Group, one of Brazilian business conglomerates in the UAE. So they're big in Africa and Asia. Here we go. Technology, chemicals, engineering, oil and gas, water, energy, pharmaceuticals, retail, trading, and real estate. Now that's different. We haven't seen chemicals, we haven't seen water, and we haven't seen pharmaceuticals yet. Bit in hospitality, even fashion. Interesting. Now, again, 2,000 employees. So if we look at most of these family holdings, a lot of them are going to have thousands of employees. But we want one thing, right? We're here for one day to find the family office. So we want to find the investment guys. Frozen. Investment. Sorry, my laptop's getting a bit warm. Investment manager. Okay. Well, sorry, that's a bad search. Hang on. For some reason, it's jumped across from the current company. Anyway, give me a second. I'm just going back through. Yeah, so portfolio manager at Gobash Group. So he's going to be looking at anything related to business with the current holding. So if you go on Gobash Group's website and you find some of the industries that they're operating in, this is your guide to try and do business. And I'll keep telling you this through this stream. If you want to get money from this country, you got to talk business first. The whole world wants money right now. Now, what makes you so special? If you're coming to provide value, then you're going to be front in line in my case. If you're just coming for money and you want to take it back, well, I've got loads of you. Lots of people like you. But what makes you different? What are you actually giving to me? If I've built this company, like Gobash was established in the 70s, it's 50 years old. It's the same, age as the country. What, you think you're just going to run off with my money because you've got a 33% return? Or you're promising me some of these extortionate numbers? No, absolutely not. I want to know how your business is going to be around long enough for my next generation, because I haven't built this empire or this brand for you to just run off with cash and give me more cash. That gives me nothing. My pride as a Emirati business owner is up here, and I want to stay here. If I start giving other people money, it makes you famous. It doesn't make me famous. What makes me famous is by attracting you with my money. So if you now start to understand the terminology of how these investment groups, these family groups work, you're going to come at them with a completely different approach. What I just said there is golden advice, to the point where I've just said, what? These guys want to do business with you. Of course, you approaching them want their money. It's very obvious. Everybody wants their money. They know they're rich, right? But we want to keep up here. They want to keep their pride up here. How do you keep up there? It's the word, we will do this together. We will generate returns. Okay, can we put 50% of that money into my holding in America, and we'll put 50% of that money back into the country to work with you? Okay, now we're trying to find common ground. Now, if we look at Richard, now Richard works for the family office, Aban Investments. Now, this is Gobash, and we've just found the family office. Wow, worked for Bain& Company, clever guy, consultant, Deloitte. And here you go, lead growth and value creation for Aban's operating companies across technology, oil, renewable energy, sustainability, healthcare, chemicals, agritech, and real estate. Now, why is sustainability important for this year? Anybody in the chat want to tell me why is sustainability important this year? Yeah, Aban investments are interesting. Why is sustainability important this year in the Middle East? Come on, somebody's got to tell me. What's going on in November? We are going to have to move to Mars if we don't look after this planet. And we've got a ginormous event. There we go. Finally, COP28 is coming. So, when we're talking to Richard, let's get Richard back up. Right, we've got Richard back up. Hello, Richard. When we're talking to Richard, okay, Richard's gone now. We're having a bit of a blip. We're having a technical. All right, we're back. Richard's back. When we're talking to Richard, we are going to mention COP28. We want to do stuff with COP28. We want to work with you. We want to. So this is where doing your research on what the country's doing is so important to these family groups, because 9 times out of 10 that family group is already doing stuff towards COP. Now, if you can complement their image and their brand, again, you're ticking all the boxes. So think of what the country's doing, because the family groups all align with the rulers. So what's the ruler of Dubai doing? What's the ruler of Abu Dhabi doing? Even Sharjah, even Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah. Align yourself with these countries. Once you understand the country's mission, then look at the family level, because as I said, they will be aligning themselves with the country as well. So when you approach these family offices, this isn't just going to. I'll give you an example. Right, let's go. So let's do a family office versus. Let's just do the obvious. Mubadala. Okay, bad spelling. Badala. Right, Mubadala, one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds on the planet. Look, I'm even connected with nearly 50 people, right? And they probably have thousands. Now, they actually have more of that under management. I think they're at like 350 probably now. Right, Mubadala. Let's look at some of my connections now. And let's look at their backgrounds. And this isn't being judgmental, right? Disruptive investments from Mubadala. No, let's not do the message. Let's look at. There's a high chance that this guy. There you go, banking. I mean, I was going to predict that, right? Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan. When we approach the sovereigns over the families, there's a huge difference in human being. Richard, we just saw, was more of a consultant accountant. He knows how to look after money. He knows how to build and grow companies. No offense to anybody in Mubadala, they're very good at what they do. I could never be a banker. You have to be very good with numbers. Now, this gentleman is going to be spreadsheet driven. He's going to be driven by returns, regulatory approvals, structures, board members, track record, all the boring stuff. If you go to this guy and start talking about COP28, he's not going to care. All he wants to do is go to his manager. He wants to go to his manager of his department, and then he's going to go to the committee, and he wants to go to them and say, I've got a product that's going to make us money, because that's his job. He's out there to look for good opportunities, do the diligence, present them to the investment committee. The committee then goes, here's your money, fund manager. Then it's up to me to manage that relationship that I've made a good decision. Now, Mubadala and family groups are completely different. Now, you may find somebody within a family group who is a banker who focuses on that type of stuff. But in the Middle East, that's not so common yet. We're getting there. So, I just wanted to show you that example, the differentiation between the people in some of these organizations over some of the family groups, right? Did I make myself clear? If I haven't, send me a message. Now, I want to move on to. Now, this is. I think there's another way of doing it as well in terms of the search. Let's. I think I did a post. Remind me, I did a post last week on surnames. So the Emirates is 50 years old, or 51 years old. Sorry. The families that were here at the start, they had certain surnames which have been withheld. Well, no, they're still prominent. The early family names are still prominent today, and they're the most successful kind of businesses. And they're all linked: brothers, cousins, sisters, uncles, aunts, you name it. Now, if I type in a surname, right, this is off the top of my head, this is a very, very good surname. Suwaidi, right? Suwaidi. Let's enter that. Now, this is another way to search through LinkedIn. Is type just pure surnames, right? We're getting individuals with the surnames, or we're getting people who work at surname groups. So Suwaidi is going to have some type of family group. Now, do I build a relationship with this gentleman? Or do I go with somebody who works for one of the groups? Giles, if you're listening, lovely gentleman, everybody. Giles is French. He is probably the most bubbly human being I've ever met. Here we go. Look, and we move down to companies. Al Suwaidi Holding Company, Al Suwaidi Industrials, Suwaidi Engineering. It goes on and on and on and on and on. But if we look at more people, right, let's digest how to use surnames efficiently. I've probably got to type it in correctly. Hang on. Al Suwaidi. Here we go. Right, so we got Suwaidi. Abdul Rahman works for Amnat Holdings, Dubai Holdings, investor at Mubadala. It's a great surname, working all the big Abu Dhabi investment firms. All right. So this is another way I'm just saying, this gentleman, wow. ADG. Any of you who haven't heard of this, it is a product that not many people know about. Abu Dhabi Growth Fund. At one point, I believe Khalifa was the only employee. I still don't know what they do. I think they're just like an aggressive. I think they invest in hedge funds. I haven't, because I'm not in the hedge fund industry. I don't really know. It's fund controller. Let's have a look. ADG. Okay, yeah, listed. It looks like they're into listed products. Family office accountant. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, I want to focus on family businesses. We can do sovereigns another day. But my point is, when you type in surnames, there is a chance that certain things are going to come up. Again, families will link to family holding groups. Khalifa should have his own holding. If he doesn't, his uncle does or his dad does. So do I build a relationship with Rashid? Works at the Ministry of Artificial Intelligence. Any of you guys out there who's in deep tech space, build a relationship with Rashid. Into cycling. right? If I build a relationship with Rashid, who knows where that may lead, right? That's another way of doing it. What other country do you have this where so many people have similar surnames? Because the population is still so small and the local population, being Emirati, is still quite small. I mean, Dubai is full of expats now, but the local Emirati population is quite small, so it's quite easy to navigate. And this is where it can also backfire. Most people know each other. We've just gone through Ramadan and Eid. They all get together, families, cousins, as I told you before. Don't do the wrong thing. Don't be too pushy. Don't be rude. Don't, use somebody and say, "Oh, I didn't get what I wanted." Word travels fast in this part of the world. As I told you, when somebody has the same surname, it means that they're related. So don't treat somebody badly because there may be a reason why somebody else doesn't respond to you. All right? You want man. So here's, it says LinkedIn user for me, but yeah, there's some good names. Al Mansouri, Al Otaiba. I did Al Otaiba earlier, but I did Enterprise. So guys, here's some good surnames to use. I'm just trying to think of. Let's go back to the chat. Have we got any questions coming in? Hi, this is Nadia, founder of how do you say it? Retreat Go? Retreat Go? I never know how to say some of these words. We're a wellness travel marketplace for startup. So it seems like, guys, if you want a travel marketplace to go for, Nadia's your founder. What about traction? Good question. So here's the question. What about traction and how important is it? So let's talk about this. When approaching these family offices, they're not going to anchor your idea unless you've been born here and you've been looking at them for the last couple of years saying, "Hi, my name's Obediah Ayton and I'm starting an accounting business. I'm going to build it myself initially, and I'm going to check in with you from time to time and show you how well I've done." There's a high chance, if it becomes successful, that person is going to look at you. Now, if I'm a foreign company, let's say in Italy, I don't yet have a proven concept in my own country. Local investors haven't invested in me yet, but I want to come over because I think that a local family is going to give me money. I don't want to be horrible, guys, but absolutely not. Now, the Middle East is 50 years old. The UAE is 50 years old. When it comes to diligence on technology, this isn't the UK where you've got angel funding being thrown around. Family conglomerates are quite big. Yes, they are high net worths themselves, but there's also an element of trust, and it's within the culture here that doesn't matter if you've had a previous exit on another company. It's going to be quite tough if you don't have a proven concept in your own country, because the first thing an Emirati chairman or somebody who works, again, let's go back to the investment manager who works for a very prominent family here. I don't want to lose my job. So if you come to me and say, my tech company in Italy is a B2B software for a part of the logistics industry. I don't yet have investors from Italy, and I don't yet have paying customers, but I've got an MVP and I've put a lot of hard work into this. I get it. You may have put a lot of hard work into it, but don't spend money on running around here or going to events thinking that somebody is going to believe in you or invest in you. When it comes to families, it's not going to happen. So yes, traction. This question here, how about traction? How important is it with family offices? It's everything. It's your credibility. Show me. I'm a family office, right? You're pitching to me. The first thing I'm going to say is show me what you've got in Italy. Let me speak to one of your customers. Show me your reviews. Show me, okay, you may not be at profitability yet, but show me you're making money and it's going up. Tell me that it's going in the right direction. Now then when you come to me and say, I've got something that works in my country, a couple of local investors like you have backed me because it works, and now I'm coming to you because I want you to join this journey, plus I want you to help me in the Middle East as well. All right? So, as I said, hopefully that answers your question about what about traction. How important is that with family offices? It is important. Now, as I told you, I think to be more clear, it's important with the family holding. When you're a family office of the family holding, we have to separate both of them. I don't know because they're looking for returns, but they're still going to judge you. And they're still going to, if you're a hedge fund, they're still going to ask for, 2 years of track record. Has your AUM grown over time? So I want to be blunt. There is no pre-seed investment, or you're very unlikely to get seed investment unless you're a homegrown GCC company from a family office. Series A and beyond, yes, that's possible. Fund managers and anchor from a family, absolutely not. I may be wrong. 98% of them, I would like to say, don't do that for first-time managers. There may be a 2% that may take a punt on you because they've got a bit of liquidity. They're like emerging managers. I don't know. There you go. Somebody says everybody wants traction. I just think that this country has to be a little bit careful because we are promoting that it's a great place, which it is. But obviously, everybody thinks that it has infinite money here. It has a good chunk of change, but I just don't want people wasting time dreaming here. You have to be very realistic of when to come here. Spending time and effort here, you really have to commit. You can't just jump on a plane and be here for a week and expect the world. It's just not going to happen. Right, let's jump back. So, any questions? Are there any specific offices working in military technologies? Try Al Nawais. Let's have a look. Let me show you. Who asked that question? Peter. No, Imran. Okay, it's probably not an industry I really want to talk about in military, but because you asked, and I'm a good guy, Al Nawais Investments. Is it actually no? I think it's an Alnoways Group. This is the issue, guys. There's so many. There you go, Alnoways Group. So if we look at Alnoways Group, Ahmed, lovely guy. He's one of the youngest sons of the family. He's the next generation pushing it. I won't go on it. I won't show anybody because, as I said, I don't really want to talk about military. It's not a great subject in the world right now. But if you go on their website, you should see their connection with it. Now there is a public entity as well, but again, I'm not getting into that. Anyway, hopefully that helps you. Because you've asked, I'm being a nice guy. Peter, have you had any dealings with Al Habtoor Investments? You want my honest truth? I haven't. Let's have a look. Let's try and. They have Al Habtoor Investments because I've only really ever come across the holding group, Al Habtoor, which is they love hospitality. Now, real estate, automotive, education. I don't think, do they have a chief investment officer or an investment team? Let's have a look. Investment advisor, and that's not real. I wouldn't add him. I don't think they have an exposure there. Senior partner, foreign investment officer. I don't know. I think Doesn't look like it. Their money must be managed under a different name, at least not at the holding level. I don't know. They may have a direct mandate. It's not a group I've come across, but there you go. There's another freebie for you guys. If you do some research, let me know. Um, Now, I'm trying to think of other strategies we can look at, especially when it comes to the families. I'll give you an example, right? Let's jump ship a little bit, and I just want to show you, Mike. No, not now. Um, I've done a bit of Abu Dhabi, done a bit of Dubai. I just want to show you one group, and I want to show you what's happening in the Middle East. There's a family called Ajlan and Bros. They're one of the biggest, I think they're top 10 family in Saudi Arabia. Now, I just want to show you, Mike, not now. Just, I'm streaming later. I'll read your message. By the way, if I don't read messages, guys, or I don't get back to you, I swear I get back to 99% of you, even if it's a short hello. I'm trying to consume it. I get messages all day, so bear with me sometimes. And chase me. Feel free to chase me. It's not annoying. Now, I think they have. I just want to show you. There you go. Right, a Saudi Arabian family has a Chinese chief investment officer. Just let that sink in a little bit. Right, Gavin, a British CEO. I just want to show you what's happening to the family group and the family holding industry across the Middle East. It's becoming so diverse. And yes, I agree. I actually agree. I'll put my hands up. No, I haven't shown a female manager yet, but that is changing. That, trust me, it's changing a lot in the UAE. Saudi Arabia, it will come. But I just want to show you how diverse some of these groups are becoming. Chinese investment officer, British CEO. What does that mean, guys? It means that they're open. They're trying to internationalize. They're not trying to be just the Saudi Arabia. Oh yeah, sorry guys, we're not. You've got to do this. We've got to own 51% of your company. No, we want your business. We want you to operate here. We want to show. We want you to help grow this economy. So that's a good example. Do you not think of how the family office industry is changing across the Middle East quite sharply? Um, if you're just coming in now, tell us what you're doing. Promote yourself, promote your business. Absolutely fantastic to see you live. Thanks, Mohammed. I wanted to share some exciting news about our company. We've been rooted in the IT and ICT and telecom industry in the UAE for the last 20 years, and we expand our operations to Qatar and Oman. But that's not enough. We're eager to spread our wings further, planning an expansion in KSA and Kuwait. They're big, KSA is big, and obtain licenses. We're exploring opportunities in other regions in Africa. So long message. I probably haven't read it. Um, I mean, I guess be a little bit more specific on what you're trying to sell. Maybe somebody can help you. We get that you're a successful business. Now we just need to know exactly what you're doing. We convert any website to the metaverse. Now, I won't get into the subject of the metaverse. I like the metaverse. It's been going on for a long time in computer games. I always say for the metaverse is think smaller, not big. A drone company that can scan a building. The building then can be sold to a real estate company where you can do virtual viewings. Now that's a business. Just saying you can walk around the metaverse, that's not a business to me. I wouldn't invest in that. Sounds expensive on server and energy costs. Let me jump back into. I'll do some more comments in a minute. Do you record this live? Yes, Palo. I am live right now. I've been doing it for 59 minutes and 30 seconds. If you've missed it, go on my YouTube channel. There'll be a recording afterwards. You can watch it while having a cup of tea, a glass of wine, or just a boring old cup of water later. you can digest it through. Right, let's jump back into family office hunting. Now, let me show you. Let's go. Who haven't we covered? I need to. Anyone? Any of you there who we haven't covered? God, I've got so many in my head. I just need to think. Um, ah, this is one I really hope not a lot of you know about. Right, we're off to a good start. It says venture capital and private equity. I think that's most of you listening. Now, Ali and Sons, if you go on the website, I do believe, I may be wrong, but they are one of not many who actually own a lot of the private sector product in the oil and gas industry. And we all know how well oil and gas is doing. So automotive, commercial, retail, construction, property management, hospitality, re-engineering. Now, that's their day-to-day holding companies, but I know that they invest in managers, venture capital, you name it. If you go on their website, you'll see dad, eldest brother, and three younger brothers. Now, each have their own qualities. I know that one of the brothers worked for a long time at Mubadala. So if we look at Ali and Sons Invest, guys, I would show you their websites, but I want you to do that in background. I'm not here to do that for you. Um, investment. Right, it's freezing a little bit now. Let's see. I think I'm streaming. It's slowing me up. Now, yeah. Interesting. I thought that they did have an investment team. That was obvious because they do manage the money from the holding. Is there head of investments? Is a guy called Rajesh. He's there. Oh, bugger, I've gone back too far. Give me a second. Bear with me, team. Rajesh, there you are. I see your picture. So this guy is very, very clever. Okay. Investments, investment professional, public, private, global, public, and yeah, see, this is what I mean. They invest in public and private, very diverse. Now, Rajesh used to work for. Remember, what I told you every time you look at these guys. So Rajesh, which I believe is Indian, he's got some good qualifications. Went to the University of Oxford. Now he's head of investments, but he's been there 9 months, so he's still trying to find his feet. So he'll be taking baby steps. He may be operating a little bit slower. I don't know. I'm just doing this when people are 9 months in. If you were in his situation, would you be throwing cash around? No, you wouldn't. Right. So you've got to bear with some people like this. Now, underneath, wow, what a CV. Jeez. So this is a Saudi group that operates out of Dubai. And I believe he was a fund of funds VC investor. I think he invested a lot in US and China. Morass, wow. RBS, UBS. Congratulations. What a CV, guys. I think we all want to be like Rajesh. But yeah, here's your guy, head of investments. But can I just be clear? Any of you joining late? I'm giving you all these answers in a nice way, but I don't want you to like reach out to Rajesh if you are just reaching out to him. Reach out to him with manners, and only reach out to him if you have something to offer. You get one chance with him and many others. These family offices are very cliquey. You get one chance. If you ruin that chance, they're not going to open that door again. So be respectful. Make sure that you can see some type of alignment. Okay, I get it. Sometimes you're going to take a chance. You're just going to, hey, you're head of investments. Let's go for it. And that's only if you can't find enough information online. but you get one chance. If you need practice, start with smaller groups. Start with venture capital funds. Get your practice in. Because venture capital funds, they're managing somebody else's money. They're not managing their own money or big chairmans. They get paid to deploy their money. They have a bit of a different incentive, right? Family money has no time limit. They don't have to spend it. You have to convince them. But as I said, you get one chance. Maybe it's not good when you first come to the UAE to go to all these big names. Maybe one of you, while you're watching this, has sent a message. You're like, shouldn't have sent that. I should have waited. I should have thought about the right thing to say. I should have done more research. Because if Rajesh reads something and it's just a big vomit of long words, I'm not going to read it. Do you know the modern world is very horrible. We consume content in about. There's probably people who've come on this for about 8 or 7 seconds, had a look and gone, moving on. Hi Obi, bye. Now, I've tried to do this as late as possible so some of you have finished work. But when Rajesh is reading through his messages, he's going to be looking at the easiest ones to read. Being an investment manager of a family office here, the whole world is coming here. So it's more about how easy I can read your message. Like the more human people are to me, I mean, I've got what 60,000 connections nearly. I've got 17,000 connections I haven't accepted because it's impossible. I try and respond to all of you, but if you send me a long list, I'm like, it's weird. It's like the whole world of just doing this all day. When you look at long things, you just already know you're like, looks too hard. Can't even start the conversation at this point. So be respectful. You get one chance. And don't go straight to the big names. Do not. Save them till the end. Get your practice in. When you first come here, do your first rounds, just go and say hello to people. Don't come in with expectations. Don't go and pay some conference 15 grand to sponsor where they're saying you're going to meet this guy, this guy, this guy. Okay, what are you going to do? Say hi? You could have done that by just knocking on their door and saying hello. Are you familiar with families in the Middle East looking at opportunities in India? Of course. India is the biggest population on the planet. This is our consumer market. If I squash a mosquito and film it in Dubai, it's going to get 10 views. If I squash a mosquito and film it in India, it's going to get 1,000 just based on the population. I want to move to Dubai for tax. For all of you that don't know, that is a great idea. However, corporation tax comes in on the 1st of June. If you did want to know more about that, send me a direct message. I have my own accountancy firm here and I can give you some free tax advice. Thank you, guys. Also, the brand at the top right on my screen, Golf Creative. This is a marketing brand that I launched this year. I did it with a JV with a UK-based company. Again, the UK-based company came to me and said, we want to provide products and services in the UAE. We want to work with you. We don't just want money from you. We want to work together as a team. I went, sounds brilliant to me. So it was a bit of a no-brainer. But what we're doing here, and this is relative to this isn't promotion, this is relative to the 7 seconds of content, you're actually making video pitch decks. How can a startup kind of tell his solution to people within a matter of 30 or 40 minutes? Just get it out there, because founders sometimes it's hard to articulate on a deck. How do we make a quick kind of like 20-30 seconds consumer video which is exciting, saying this is the problem I'm solving, this is where we're at, and this is what we want to do? Boom, 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 20 seconds done. I'm like, okay, I want to meet this guy. He's driven. I want to meet this female founder. She's standing out. So I'm just saying, think of the attention. Should I jump back into a bit more family office hunting. There's a lot of messages coming in. Obi, well done on showing how to drill down. And the research by Peter. Yep, you're welcome. Kenneth, the company we're representing develops software. I'll come back to this in a minute. Right, I'll come back to it. I'm getting distracted. Right, jumping back in. Let's go. Okay, it's not working. Okay, stay there. Is it going to jump off or is it going to stay there? Right, we're back with Rajesh. Enough PR for Rajesh. Right, I think we're back in live. So that was another one, Ali and Sons. Now let's look more basic. Now a good name, Cubase. How you say it? Yeah, Al Kubaisi. Do they have a group? I've never met a Kubaisi with a group. Like I've met Kubaisis, but do they have a group? Is there a fam? Oh, there is. Oil and gas, LLC. I wonder what they do. Retail, it says. Quite small. Al Kubaisi LLC. Retail. No. See, you're going to come across surnames that, when they're quite small like this, it means that they're not very international. No, you can still pitch to them, but it just means that they may not have the sophisticated people, the international people. This group, I could tell you, definitely don't invest in VC managers or startups, maybe. So again, it's different ways to do it, to identify these types of family offices. I'm trying to think. Let's type in Al Group. Let's go back to the start of how to find. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Look, Altair, Alpha Tame. That's Saudi. Mullah. I don't even know who that is. Mayor. I don't know Mayor. I've never heard of that. But let's do Altair. Right, I haven't done Altair. Altair, huge, one of the biggest retail groups. Now I know these guys have a head of investments. Where is he? Okay, VJ is one of them. We got a VP, Ruth. I think we've spoken before. I think that's a chief information officer. But I know, is it James Mascroy? God, I have memory. 5,000 employees, but we want one thing. What do we want? We want the investment manager. Type in investment. So get used to using these search bars at the top. James is, I swear, maybe he's not there anymore. Senior investment analyst at Altair Group. KPMG, Price Water. So he's accountant, knows his thing about money, how it works, how it moves. CFA, clever guy from India. Everybody, there's a gentleman in the chat from India. Hey, you've already got a common interest with this guy. If you want to talk about the Indian market and then figure out how Altair can join forces with stuff in India, VJ, let's go over to VJ, Senior Investment Manager, Altair. Nice. So this guy looks like he probably deploys into funds, public and private, because he worked at a previous investment group that did public equities and worked in a finance house, securities. Yeah, so I think this is the public markets guy. And I think our gentleman we were just on, Nikhil, is the private markets guy, because he's more of a diligence guy, accountant. Interesting. So it's just another way of differentiating who does what within the group, because it's not obvious. He doesn't say, I'm private markets and I'm public markets. So you have to find and identify this yourself as best as possible. Now, if we look back, if I go, hey, look, no way it does that. Does it actually do that? Hey, it's me. I can't remember where posts. Okay, go away. It's me live. So if we look at, I think I did a list. Sorry. Okay, no, not that, not that, not that. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Bugger, 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 bugger. Guys, if you want to look back on some of these posts, I've got lists and lists and lists. Here we go, look. Okay, for him, flag's a tough one. Now, I can't seem to get into flag. I tried to get in with this gentleman, group financial controller, because I know that they invest. Yeah, they've invested on a venture capital level on education, agri-tech, and healthcare, but I can't get in. I might just try and call them. But oh, we've got some good names coming up here. Look, these guys are public markets, and we're going back to the Abu Dhabi Capital Group. Let's go on these two in a minute. But flag holding, any of you can crack this. I know of them, but I don't know who's behind it. There's obviously a successful business person in Abu Dhabi, but I can't get on the site. If you look at the employees, yeah, just accountants, HR officer. Here you go, managing partner. I've already Al Sakal, great surname. So now we know who's behind it, but I wouldn't know how to get close to that. No idea, guys. Any of you can crack that? There's your challenge. I can't. Mazuri. But they're based in Business Bay. They're an Abu Dhabi-based family. There you go. So we've got Abdullah Al Mazruri. That's how you say it. Family-owned business, as they all are. Real estate, construction, hospitality, education, healthcare, F&B, project management. But again, I know for a fact that these guys have public market exposure. I've only tried to connect with the G. I've never done. Actually, no. I used to know a young guy who moved to Gurer from here, Al Gurer. But he's part of the family office. I mean, it says it, and I do believe they do public equities. Sorry, give me a second. But not ginormous. There's probably only a few groups in there. This is a great one. Sorry. All this talking, my throat's going very dry. So Etihad International, a bit of background on this. I call this look, billions in revenue. And this is just one group, guys. Abu Dhabi, every company's making billions. Industrial, healthcare, energy, utilities, environmental services. Again, that's another one. Why? COP28 is coming, guys. Now, I know that this gentleman, he told me a funny story, and this will happen a lot across the Middle East. So Nizar, Alternative Investments, Venture Capital, Private Equity. So he's the head of like the family office that, like, see, if you see the name here, Etihad Ventures. See, that's not Etihad Investments, what the actual group's called, so, which means Etihad International Investments, but he's the director of Etihad Ventures. Now, you see this business here. Now, I remember him telling me the chairman, this was an internal software which then became hugely valuable. So he went to the chairman and said, this company does about 40, 50 million a turnover. Should we take it out to the market? Should we bring in other partners? Should we sell it? Chairman thought about it. He said, do you know what? He said, do you know what? I don't want to sell it. I don't need the money. But what I want you to do, Nizar, is set up a business or a vertical, take some money, and invest in other businesses like this. So for all of you listening in the logistics business, there's your guy. He's a board member of a logistics company. He runs the venture arm for the family office. But make sure, and as I said, if you're going on Etihad Investments website now, if you're looking in background or you're taking your notes with your pen and paper, make sure that you try and find, as I said, that connection. If it's with him or if it's with the family group. Now, it'll be better if it's with the family group. So they're in, let's call it freight management. You've got some type of freight management, cybersecurity product. You've said that our business can be of service to their holding. Plus, we're looking for growth capital and we want to set up a UAE entity and we want your help selling it to other entities like Abu Dhabi Ports, DP World. Can you help us? Oh my God. Please come in, sir. Sit down. Would you like a tea and some dates? Do you get where I'm going with this? Again, am I making sense? Or does it just sound easy to me? I'm trying to kind of paint a picture of how to get your foot in the door, how to look like a piece of gold to them. Please come in, sir. Take a seat, sir. What can I do for you? Why? Because you've just turned up and said, I have a solution that's going to make your business safer, save you money, save you time. Number two, we want your help to sell this product across the region. Okay, so they're looking at a JV. We want to make revenue together. And then I want to invite you to be part of our cap table because we've got this name and this name on our cap table. You can be associated with them, which is good for your brand visibility around the world. Also, it helps you when it comes to diligence. Also, it's a bit of bragging rights if I'm on a cap table with Intel Capital or something. Then, lastly, there is a financial return, which is obvious. It's obvious. They won't be doing business with you if they don't think there's a financial return. So you don't always have to go in, yeah, we're going to make 2.5x on your money over the next couple of years. Cool. I've got a paper mill that can make money tomorrow. Would love to set up a call with you, Stephen. Yep. Let me know what the call is about. Again, I always say this, be specific, not just with me, with everybody else. Some gentleman with Chinese writing has just sent a very long message, but it looks interesting. The next device will rewrite the world's computer science scene post smartphone. Okay, too long message, sir. Hopefully somebody answers it for you. Let's do a bit of founder promotion. Hi, Obadiah, founder of Yield Energy Group from Africa. This is Clinton Cowley. With electricity crisis in South Africa, I didn't know about that. We're expanding our independent power producer division with 20-year purchase agreement. We need to fund the projects. Looking for 20 million in the first round. We focus on microgrids within residential estates and commercial parks. Do you have any possibilities in the infrastructure and energy funds? Did we not cover a family that does infrastructure earlier, or a guy who used to work with them? It was the French guy who worked for one of the family offices. Can anyone remember his name and help out? So this is how it works, guys, in the chat. We help out each other. Clinton, there was a guy earlier in the chat. I can't remember his name. A French guy. I think it was the Alpha Tame Family Office. Alpha Tame Family Office. Type that in the search bar. Should be a French guy. He used to work in infrastructure and PE funds, private credit funds. He's your guy. You're welcome. Ahmed Al Hashimi. Hi, Obadiah. Good to have you. It's nice when I have some local support. I want to connect with you soon, anytime. Absolutely. Guys, send me a DM. Let me know what it is. Guys, also self-promote yourself. Thanks for all of you watching and all the support. Hi, Obadiah. I've recently moved to the UK and sold my business to move to Dubai. Good for you. For a 21-year-old entrepreneur, blimey, starting young. Do you know what? That's something to talk about. Can we just talk about a 21-year-old entrepreneur in the chat? When I was 21, I was studying accounting in America, and I didn't even want to be an accountant. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I could barely even make myself food. I was still trying to figure out stuff. I think with social media and even what we read on LinkedIn, nobody's sharing unhappy news. They're all saying, "Oh, I've raised this much money," or "I've got this partnership. I've just hired somebody else," and nobody shares the unhappy stuff. But there's lots of unhappy people out there. Lots of unhappy businesses. Lots of businesses failing. But when you're 21, don't feel as if you're so pressured. Like credit to you, Danielle, but I'm just generalizing. But when you're consuming your content, as I said, in 8 or 7 seconds, it's it's tough because you feel as if you have to achieve so much in a young age. Honestly, 20s is all about finding out what you can do. Try launch 20 different companies. See what happens. You got nothing to lose. Nobody judges you in your 20s anyway. To be honest, there's a little bit of ageism in the business world. There always has been. If you do something wrong, I think when you're that young, nobody's going to sit there and hold it against you. They're going to be like, "Well, you're young. Try again. Do something else. Learn from it. Move on." But credit to you, Danielle. Fair enough that you sold a business at 21. I'm sure a lot of people would love to be like you. SBK Holdings, Mr. Military Man. I don't know. I don't particularly want to talk about military. It's not a pleasant subject. F&B industry. Let's look at this question here. What about the F&B industry? Right, let's go hunting for the F&B industry. Right, F&B industry. Kenneth, not now. F&B, F&B, F&B. Who have we got in F&B? In Dubai. Now, Majid Al Futtaim own Carrefour, which is retail. Al Abwadi. How do you say it? How do I spell it? Al Abwadi Investments. Am I spelling it wrong? Ab Abwadi. Yeah. I think this is it. Companies. What? There. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Now, I think these guys own. Obviously, that's a good surname. They're big in Africa, hospitality, and obviously Africa is big for agriculture. But I believe if you look at their website, I want to say that they have exposure to F&B. I think they own Waitrose in the region. And there's one guy who's the investment manager. Let's have a look. Did I go past him? Don't know. This guy, director of Obadiah Investments, Mahmood. Reach out to Mahmood. I think they're an F&B group. I'm just trying to think if anyone else is F&B. But I don't know if I don't think they're a family office, but Yas Holding. I think the CEO is a big ag guy. Here you go. So if we go to the CEO, Tarek, CEO, investor, venture capital, private equity, food and ag tech. There you go. There's your answer. Yas Holding, Wharton. What a clever guy. I don't think I could ever get into Wharton. There you go. Forbes talking about F&B. I think this is your guy to try and impress. Now, will you get all your way to the top day one? Probably not. You got to work your way up. But it seems like this is the guy you want to have that conversation with when the time's right. And look more further into Yas. I mean, we're just looking at him. Let's see who the God. When I'm streaming, it's so slow. 3. So these are based in Abu Dhabi. Let's look at investments. Oh yeah. By the way, if you're watching this, can you like it for me? Because I would like all the support, if that's okay. So if you're watching this, do you mind if you can like the stream? It means a lot to me, and thank you. I'm not very good at asking for things. I normally use LinkedIn to give, like I'm giving you all the answers, but if you're joining, like it. Investment, season PE. There you go, season PE and VC. I've already tried to add him, but nothing. But if you know Mac or find a way, food security, healthcare, technology, even crypto, wasn't expecting that. Duke MBA. Wow, these guys, good schools. Jeez, I would never be able to. I'm not clever enough to do that. Golf Capital. Wow. Now these, I just want to show you. So Gulf Capital is an Abu Dhabi conglomerate, but they're not a family office. I'll maybe cover them on another stream. Well, let's do the kind of the public sector, semi-sovereigns, investment companies rather than. But at the moment, we're just trying to focus on the family holdings. I don't think Yaz is. I think that's a government-owned holding even. But we're just covering it because somebody asked about agritech and techie investments. So that is, I think, that gives you a good idea of the ins and outs. Oh yeah, that guy. I might. Who always promotes crypto? Let's turn off my screen. I need to get some bandwidth back. Now, Al-Buadi, yeah. I mean, it was helping me with spell Al-Buadi. Thanks, I mean, I just I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get the word out. But it was I was trying. I was definitely trying. So I'm just reading some messages. People giving me some support, saying thank you so much for this evening's show. Even though it is 9:30, it's the day after Ramadan and the Eid holiday. So we are. Jeez, why is it not working? Go back. There you go. You're back. Yeah. So it's. I think to summarise all of this, we've just finished Ramadan. Eid holiday is over, and the UAE is back in business. So for all of you who've been tough to get hold of or trying to get hold of businesses, bear with the region. It's come out of the holy month. I would say it's back in business as of today. There's a lot to look forward to when it comes to what this country can offer. And as I said, I think for all of you, if there's something to take from this, it's really turn up with good value. I don't know if it's coming through clean. This stream, it seems to be really bad connection. But yeah, I appreciate all of you for listening today. I'm going to clock off now, go to sleep. I'm not going to sleep, but just put my work down. I've been at it all day since 7 this morning. But I appreciate all of you listening. If you've missed it, look at the link, go on LinkedIn. Hopefully you can learn something. But yeah, I appreciate all of your time. Do family offices only invest in post-revenue companies? Yes. But yes. Unless you can work with them to make the revenue. But that's going to be tough. If you're a local company and you've been here and you've proved your worth and you've built here and it's still pre-revenue, then that may be a different story. But I don't know. Good question. But I don't think so, no. Love you and leave you guys. Have a good rest of the evening, morning, afternoon. I will catch up with you. I'll try and do it next week. If you liked it, let me know. And I'll do it again next week.